We're at the high-end Munich 2023 at the stand of PMC, and you just introduced a complete new series. It's called the Prodigy.
Yep, very excited.
New entry-level PMC, and that's completely new for you as well, entry-level.
Yeah, it's a new range. We're hoping to bring the classic PMC sound to a new market, allow them to experience transmission line like they have never before.
Yeah, because that's one of the unique selling points. Well, you said too, it's the mid-dome. That's missing, unfortunately, but at this price level we can imagine. But transmission line, what is a transmission line?
Transmission line is a method of loading the bass driver in the cabinet, which is kind of PMC's signature core technology. It's having some people describe it as an acoustic labyrinth within the cabinet, lined with damping material, which allows you to absorb the high frequencies coming off the rear of the bass driver, but keep the low frequencies which come out of the vent at the bottom of the speaker. The result of that is that you get clean bass over a much wider bandwidth than you'd get with other technologies, and also it doesn't rely on such a high level of output. It will sound the same whether it is loud or quiet.
Yeah. I'm going to ask you a very important and hard question. What about phase?
Phase. It's a difficult one with transmission line. That's why you want to be absorbing the higher frequencies with the damping material, because when they come out of the vent they would be out of phase. So it's really critical, the amount and position and material of the damping. It's kind of part of the design process that takes a long time. Is tweaking the position of the foam to ensure you get the frequencies you want and they're in phase, and not the frequencies you don't want.
All right, good answer. But you've had like 40 years to develop it?
I think it's around 35, 36. 1991. So what's that? Maybe 30.
It's actually, no, yeah. My math is off, I'm sorry. Let's go back to the Prodigy speakers. There are two models, the Model 5 and the Model 1. Well, Prodigy 5 and Prodigy 1. A floor standing model and a bookshelf. Can you tell me something about how you looked at the competition in that field?
Well, the main thing, the feedback we'd received really is that, with the way people are living in modern environments, is that everything is getting smaller. Yeah. People really want compact speakers. So what we've tried to really do is cram the maximum amount of performance into a small box that will, we don't want to be trying to make a product that only a very select group of people can not only afford, but also fit in their home. You want to be people. You don't want to take up your whole living room.
Like a Fenestria.
As much as we would like people to take up their whole living room with massive speakers, people aren't going to do that. So people want something compact, but they still want it to perform great.
Well, what makes it unique, except for the transmission line, of course? Because it's a hard field to compete in.
It is a hard field. I think that the laminar technology is something that we've developed relatively recently. It's a technique, it's like an augmentation to the transmission line, which we found on previous designs that when you get a lot of high-speed air coming out of the transmission line, you get what we describe as chuffing, where the air is like, and not only is that you're losing energy that you could be using, but also you're introducing this background noise that you don't really want there. So we're trying to get rid of both of those things in one go, and that's the result of laminar.
So that's mainly the bass we're talking about, transmission line and the new venting technology, I can call it, I think, yeah? What about the tweeter? Because you said it's used in two other models that are actually studio speakers.
Yes, so the tweeter is the same model that we've already been using for quite a few years now in our Result 6 near-field monitors, which are very well received. And it's also very similar, not quite the same, very similar to what's used in our CI range of speakers, which are used in a lot of Atmos studios around the world. The key to that really is it's got a neo magnet with a built-in heatsink and ferrofluid cooling. So it's got a really high capability. What you don't want is, maybe your tweeter can play, but not really, it's at its limit. You want to increase extra distortion by putting the tweeter right at its limit. So you want to make sure you've got a lot of headroom to make sure you can get those dynamic peaks on classical material or whatever, where you've got really big changes in the volume.
All right. Could we say that this new Prodigy line brings the studio sort of in a budget way to the living room?
Hopefully, that's what we're hoping to achieve. You know, the whole ethos of PMC is that we say we can use any of our products in any of the environments that they would be used in. There's so much shared technology, even if the way I suppose you look at it, the aesthetics of it is shared. And yeah, there's many examples of our customers in the studio world that are using Hi-Fi products because they sound so similar. And it's producing the music that you'll be listening to at home on the same speakers that you'll be listening to at home. So I don't think you can get more than that, really.
Pricing was around 2,500 for the Prodigy 5 and 1,500 for the Prodigy 1?
Yes, I think I know the UK pricing off by heart. I think the Euro pricing is 1,495 for the bookshelf and 2,395 for the floor stander.
So that's a good bargain, I think. Thank you for your time. You have a lot to do, I guess. We as well. So thank you for your time and see you next time.
Thanks for coming. Cheers.